Good morning, family and friends. Today, I would like to speak about family first. I kept having conversations with brothers throughout the week and throughout last week about how the families are not connected like they used to be, and it's real. It's really sad. Let me give you a point, an example. I ran into a friend that I knew for years. He didn't know my wife had passed, and I told him I didn't understand how he didn't know because his brother was at the service. He told me with a sad heart. He said, Paul, me and my brother, we're really not that close anymore. Family ain't what it used to be. And I stopped and I talked to him for like 20 minutes. What do you mean family ain't what it used to be? He said, he shared with me since his mom's passed, everybody just went their separate ways, doing their own thing. And it kind of bothered me. And I spoke to another brother that I knew for years. And the first thing he said to me when I was talking to him about something else, he said, Paul, we got to get back to the families. I'm like, what are you talking about? He said, there's so much dysfunction, there's so much disorder. This one's not talking to that one, that's one not talking to that one. And this is a very hard subject to speak about because I don't know, people have grudges, resentments in the family, myself included. There's some people in my family that I'm disappointed to, but not to the point that I would totally cut you off. I mean, I'll respect your space. But I would hope if a situation came up in the family, you would come together as a family unit and perform and assist in whatever way you could. But that's not happening. Some of these grudges that I'm hearing about, some of these grudges that I'm seeing, they're running really deep. Really deep. And I mean, I wish I could say it's these young kids doing it. I'm talking about grown adults. Grown. We should know better. We should do better. We have so much limited time on this planet. I don't think it should be wasted on grudges. I don't think it should be wasted on jealousy. I think we should come together and love one another while we're on this planet. So many people are leaving us. I mean, yesterday I was at the headstone place and I was like, I'm one of them people who, I don't know why, but I can go into a store, shoe store, car dealership, whatever. I always go to the high end stuff. I'm drawn to just nice things. I'm just drawn to it. So I was looking at the headstone. I thought it was 20,000. It was only 5,000. I said, okay. So I seen another one. I said, how much is this? She said, oh, that's 5,000 too. And there was really nice headstones. But it really made me think. I'm like, wow, those are nice. I want who deserves one of those? Because to be honest, I'm gonna go. You're gonna go. And I heard a brother speaking this morning about what you want on your headstone, which I spoke about before, what was gonna be said about me. But when I seen these headstones, it really just triggered something in me. It really made me. You got to be serious about this, man. You got to be really like intentional. And shout out to my brother David Hurston because I always see him doing family stuff, visiting family. He's an example, and he triggered me. He triggered something in me too when I see him move. I don't speak to my brothers often, but he knows love. But you're making a difference, and we're all making a difference. We're all being watched. We're all being judged. How do you want to be judged? What contribution do you want to make? Family has to be first. Family, at the end of the day, family's everything. Family's all we got. Family is all we got. Man, I love being at the age I am and sit back and able to see the younger generation do their thing. Do your thing safe. Do your thing safely. Turn up, but don't turn crazy. Family, Family is beautiful. There's nothing more precious than family. We see other cultures doing their thing and say, oh, they was gifted with this and that and the other. I cannot get mad at anyone else or any other culture for something they have or something they do if I didn't put in the work, if I didn't show up when I was supposed to show up, if I didn't, do what I was supposed to do. I can't win today's game with yesterday's hits. I have to come out and hit today. Make today productive for my family, for myself. And I know we all know a lot of families that aren't speaking. She did this, he did this, I'll never. That's a strong term. That's a strong term, I'll never. God forbid something happens to the person you would never. You say, oh, it doesn't matter. It matters. I see people this very day regretting decisions they made when the person's gone. It's like they'll never be the same. I've never told you a lie. Everything I tell you is something I experienced or something I know to be facts. I love you. That's why I'm sharing this with you. And I never thought I'd wake up in the morning thinking about, honestly, what do I want on my headstone? What type of headstone do I want? But it made me, when I thought about it, it made me think, you got a lot of work left to do. I got a lot of work to do. I got to get up and I got to make a difference. I ain't got to get my shine on, but I got to make a difference. Not my shine, make a difference. Contribute. And I'm contributing as I sit here today, family and friends. It's saddening. Let's rectify some of these situations that we can rectify with our family members. Be the bigger person. If they don't show you love them anyway. That's the way of God. What is love? Ask yourself, what is love? Don't do that. Don't let nobody trick you out your family or out, loving on your family. And if you got some people around you who saying, yeah, I agree with you, he did this, that, and the third. Oh, she never liked you. That's not your friend. That's not your friend. Your friend tells you the truth. Your family tells you the truth. Be careful. Be careful, like I always say, what you put in your mind. Be careful who you're around. If they're not trying to build that relationship back, help you build that relationship back with your family, you got to question them. You don't need a yes person. You need someone who loves you enough and respects you enough to tell you the truth in your corner. You need somebody. I heard it said this morning, love is somebody who will die for you. As I recall, that used to be family. That used to be family. I can tell you a time in my life where I did something stupid and a guy came at me with a gun. My brother stood in front of him and said, you're not going to shoot my brother. I felt bad about that I put him in that situation, but that was love. We had that. Let's not throw that away. I get calls all the time from family members who do things that I disagree with, give me headaches, give me a stomach ache, and I'm like, oh man, not this again. But at the end of the day, that's what I'm here for family. That's what I'm here. That does not mean this is a green light that I'm going to let a family member use me. No, we just have to know how to set boundaries. Boundaries. I'm going to do this, but I'm not going to continue to do this. There's boundaries. You have an accountability to yourself. This is what you tell them. You're responsible. You're part of this unit. You're responsible. You represent the unit, the family. We do not cast them out like a dirty dish rag. We do not talk about if I see him or her, it's on sight. We do not have separate funerals. We do not have separate repasts. Where did this come from? I mean, that's hate. To me, when I hear something like that, I'm sorry if I offend somebody, it sounds like self-hate. Because there's not a person, family member, whoever can do that much to you to make you go to that extremes. There's something going on within yourself that you need to question. If you go to that extreme against your family member, against your bloodline, a person who loves you will die for you. Well, you say, well, they won't. Maybe they're not in the right space at the time. Maybe they don't know what me and you know. But if we say we know what we know, then we have to display love. We have to correct in love. We have to forgive in love. We don't do this. We don't do this. We don't do this. God forbid I don't support my family in whatever, conversation, family gatherings, graduations. My parents would be ashamed of me. I'd be ashamed of myself. I'm embarrassed. When I do that, I'm embarrassing if I did that, I would be embarrassing my family. Wow, I can hear people, well, I don't care. At some point in time, you have to grow up. You have to grow up. You have to do the next right thing. Hating on your family, talk about I'll never forgive, that's not the next right thing. That's not God. That's not love. Family is everything. And I know a lot of people can relate to what I'm saying because I've heard it too many times in the last week, and it's really sad. It's really sad that we don't have the connect we once had. But you know the good and beautiful thing about it is, the beautiful thing is we still have time. We have something a lot of people who went before us don't have. We have time. We have time to get it right. We have times to make amends. You can go there and don't even speak. Just your presence next to your family member makes a difference. You're there. You're there. And I'll tell you something. As a natural instinct, God forbid something happen and you're there within your family, and a fight against somebody else breaks out. I guarantee you're in that fight. It's a natural instinct. I guarantee you're in that fight. You'll forget about what he or she did to you. You're in that fight. It's a natural instinct. That's family. That's family. And like I said, my brother brought this to me, and he said, Paul, and he was adamant about this. He said, we got to get the family back together. And I called him to ask him his advice on something. And that was the first thing he told me. I believe it was like 2 weeks ago. But as I'm traveling, I'm running into other brothers. And they're telling me the same thing. This family member attacked this family member. What is this? What is this, man? At some point in time, bro, we have to come together and figure this out. Somebody has to be the bigger person to keep us going. Somebody has to be the bigger person. Like I said, I seek the win-win. I don't win if you don't win. I don't win if my family don't win. That cannot be said enough. I pray to God that you take time to hear what I'm saying. And if you know somebody or family members that are going through some stuff, if you're a friend, tell them it ain't cool. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. There's no other I can't. I just can't. I just can't. You know, I'm not a yes man. I can't agree with you. Family first. Families first. Families always. And I'm telling you something. My heart's heavy right now because I know a whole lot of families that told me I'm